Good day everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Cikgu Darrel and today we shall continue on Unit 4 Learning World. For your information, this is going to be the second last lesson which will be on page 48 of your student's book. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to ask for help when you are studying languages. As usual, before we begin our lesson, let me go through with you first the framework of our lesson for today. First, we shall go through some key phrases which are used to ask for help when studying languages, and after that, we shall read a gap dialogue together, listen to an audio, and complete the gap dialogue. Last but not least, we will practice the key phrases that you have learned in Activity 1 and 2 using a new sample dialogue. Without further ado, let us move on to the first activity of our lesson today, which is to go through the key phrases first. What do they mean? Whenever we learn a language, there will always be problems. And what are these problems? Well, taking myself as the example, I always face listening problem when I learn a language. Listening in BM means mendengar. And after that, I will also encounter problems like spelling. There are some complex vocabulary that I couldn't spell well when I learn a language. And spelling in BM means ejaan. At the same time, I think this is something that we would face in common when we learn a language, which is the pronunciation, the way we pronounce a word. In BM, we call it as sebutan. Last but not least, this is also one of the most common problems that we would face when learning a language, which is the vocabulary meaning. Sometimes we just don't understand the meaning of some complex vocabulary. So these are the problems that I face when I learn a language. How about you? Talking about the problems, how can we actually express when we face these kind of language learning problems? Well, these are the key phrases that you can use when you want to express. For example, how do you spell that? Bagaimana kamu mengejanya? How do you say? Bagaimana kamu mengebut? Can you say that again, please? Boleh kamu ulang semula? Can you help me with something, please? Bolehkah kamu bantu saya dengan sesuatu? Now, let's move on to the second activity of our lesson today, which is to read, listen, and complete the gap dialogue. This time in this activity, we are going to use the key phrases that we have gone through just now in Activity 1 and apply it into this gap dialogue. But before I play the audio for you, let us go through first the dialogue together. This is a conversation between Jasmine and Zach. And for your information, it happens in the situation that Zach is facing problem when he's learning a language. And let's try to read how do Zach converse with Jasmine. Hi Zach, what are you doing? Oh, I'm revising. We've got a French exam tomorrow, remember? Oh yes. You're good at French, Jasmine. Now, what's the answer that is suitable to be filled here? Okay. Jasmine said, yeah, sure. Zach replies, you will have to find answer for this blank again. Tomorrow in French? Jasmine, it's demand. Zach, sorry? Again, a blank. Jasmine said, yes, it's demand. Zach replies again, what is the key phrases that should be filled here? Jasmine replied again, DEMAIN. Great, thanks Jasmine, says Zach. Okay, now we have gone through the dialogue and let's listen to the dialogue here in this video. Please listen attentively and focus on the key phrases that they use in this dialogue. And later on, we shall fill the gap dialogue together.
Hi Zach, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm revising. We've got a French exam tomorrow. Remember?
Oh yes.
You're good at French, Jasmine. Can you help me with something, please?
Yeah, sure.
How do you say tomorrow in French?
It's demain.
Sorry, can you say that again, please?
Yes, it's demain.
How do you spell that?
D-E-M-A-I-N.
Great, thanks, Jasmine.
Okay, so that's the end of the video. If you are still unclear with what they said in the video, you can just feel free to rewind the video. Now, let's get back to this dialogue again. This time, I have already prepared the choices of answers for you, which are also the key phrases here. Now let's try to fill in the answers together. Hi Zach, what are you doing? Oh, I'm revising. We've got a French exam tomorrow, remember? Oh yes, you are good at French, Jasmine. So what is the first answer that should be filled in the first column here? It's... Can you help me with something, please? Yeah, sure. And how did Zach reply? How do you say tomorrow in French? It's demain. Sorry? So at this point, Zach couldn't hear clearly, so he asked Jasmine to repeat. Can you say that again, please? Yes, it's demain. Now, at this point, after Zach got the answer from Jasmine, he was unsure with how the vocabulary is spelled in French. So, Zach asked, how do you spell that? Jasmine spelled D-E-M-A-I-N. And then Zach got the clue and he said, great, thanks Jasmine. So these are the answers. Did you manage to get the same answer as mine? If so, congratulations. Now, let's move on to the final activity of our lesson today, which is to practice using the key phrases to complete different dialogue. Just now it was the dialogue between Zach and Jasmine. Now it's a dialogue between Luke and Ben. Let's go through the dialogue again together. Hi Ben. There's a blank. Ben replied, oh, I'm reading my French notes. You're good at French. There's a blank. Luke said, car? It's voiture. Ben replied, sorry? Again, what's the answer in this column? Luke replied, yes, it's voiture. Now Ben says what? You will have to find the answer for this column. And Luke spelled V-O-I-T-U-R-E. And Ben says, great, thanks Luke. So I bet, based on the video that you have listened just now, you must have some clues already for the answers here. Now let's find out the answers together. Hi Ben. What are you doing? And Ben says, oh, I'm reading my French notes. You are good at French. How do you say car in French? Car? It's voiture. And Ben replied, sorry. So obviously at this point, he couldn't hear clearly. So he said, can you say that again please? Luke says, yes, it's voiture. Now Ben says, how do you spell that? And Luke says, V-O-I-T-U-R-E. And Ben thanks Luke for that. Great, thanks Luke. So these are the answers for this dialogue. Did you manage to get the same answers? If yes, good job. So that's the end of our lesson today. This is the Google form exercise that I have prepared for you. Feel free to just scan at the QR code right in front of the screen, or you can proceed to the video description below and press on the Google link that I have provided there. If you're a teacher and you would like to make a copy of this Google form exercise, feel free to do so by just scanning at the QR code right in front of your screen, or you can also go to the video description below, as I have also provided a link there for you to make a copy. As usual, don't forget to visit my Facebook page Cikgu Darrel and give it a like if possible. Don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel and press the bell right beside the subscribe button so that you will always get notified whenever I update my playlist. With that, I would like to thank you for watching and I shall see you at the next video. Bye!